So Rahul ji, Kalani ji, thanks a lot for taking out time and talking to IPO Central. First of all, congratulations on this grand occasion of your company's IPO. So if you could just explain the business in simple terms, एक bird's eye view अगर आप दे दें, कंपनी क्या करती है, ऑटो एंसिलरी में है, लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत कंपनी के बारे में और डिटेल में अगर आप बता सकें तो बहुत अच्छी शुरुआत होगी.
This company I started 25 years back. 25 साल पहले इस कंपनी की शुरुआत की. And we make wiring harnesses, we make electronic sensors and controllers, we make switches, we do power electronics, we do battery assemblies, and our main operational area is the two-wheeler and three-wheeler focus. And last 25 years, we've never lost a customer. And also most of the employees who have joined with us are with us. So these are the two important things. But yes, our main area is more towards the in the EV powertrain. We are almost there as a part of everything in the EV architecture, and as a part of the ICE business, we are there in the wiring harnesses, we are there in the electronic sensors and controllers and switches.
Okay, so you cater to internal combustion engine vehicles as well as electric vehicles, largely into two and three wheeler domain, if I'm correct. Right. Okay.
Two-wheeler. We also do commercial vehicles. We do off-highway vehicles and farming equipments also.
Okay. All right. Same product lines over there.
Yes, same product lines. We do it in India. We do it abroad also.
So how much of your business is okay? Before that, let's talk a little bit about your history, the company's history, your background. How did you start on in this business?
So I started off with this company 25 years back, born brought in Aurangabad. And last 25 years, I've scaled up this company from a 45 lakh rupee revenue to a 4,500 crore, what we did last year. And the main focus has always been the relationships. You talk of the customers. We have never lost a customer in last 25 years. Either we are a major source to them or a single source on few of the platforms to them. You talk of the employees, people who joined with us day one are with us. People who join in consecutive years, most of them are with us. So there's a pretty good sense of ownership across all levels, across all and in all plants. And to talk more about my journey, I would like to divide this journey into 6 phases of growth, namely sector and product identification. Second is the sector and segment identification. Second is product identification. Third is the segment expansion. Fourth is globalization. And sixth is the focus on future mobility and premiumization. If I look at it, the first thing, the segment and sector identification came very naturally to me because my father was a dealer of Force Motors in Aurangabad. And coming back from school, I would always listen to various automotive dealer name and so the automotive names, I was very conversant with that right from the growing up years of school. Being in Aurangabad while I was growing up, could relate to prosperity only with people who were connected or associated with Bajaj Auto. And third, I was an electrical and telecommunication engineer. And that's what, joining these dots together started manifesting with the possibility that if at all I could do something in the two-wheeler, three-wheeler space of the automotive sector, it would be an ideal thing to do. And then as destiny had it, being in Aurangabad, knew few of the tier one companies, families who lived in Aurangabad reached out to them, and they directed me to their purchasing departments. Went to them, expressed my desire to be a part of this industry. They were kind enough to put some product across the table to develop. I picked a wiring harness out of it because that was the only product. Joki, it was electrical side and also which could have been scaled up from tier 2 to tier 1 level. So that's how my journey started in 2001. And then I separated out from the family. I took my share of 18 lakh rupees took a loan of 60 lakh rupees from SICOM, and with 16 people, with 1 acre of land and 7,000 square feet of construction, started off with this factory in Aurangabad in 2001. The first 2 years we were a tier two. Then we got an opportunity to work with Bajaj Auto. We kind of qualified for that opportunity by developing it on time, and we onboarded as a vendor with them. After that, Bajaj Auto was going through a rationalization of vendors, so there was an opportunity for business to grow. We were a technical company, and Bajaj Auto wanted a technical army of vendors to be in. So we qualified there, and on the proximity level also we qualified. So Bajaj Auto business, there was multiplied for us during the next 4 years. Then by 2007 we did 100 crores of revenue. Post that, we it was either we look at Bajaj Auto as a whole and soul and try to move in a lot of products, or it was look at product as a whole and soul, achieve operational and manufacturing excellence and go beyond single customer. We chose the latter. उसके अंदर हम लोगों ने फिर बाकी सब कस्टमर्स को अप्रोच करना शुरू किया. Then the customers were not ready to audit the facility at Aurangabad because it was dedicated to Bajaj Auto. So then हम लोगों ने एक दिल्ली में प्लांट लगाया, एक चेन्नई में लगाया, और ये दोनों ही जो प्लांट्स हैं इनके ऊपर ऑडिट हुए. एंड बाय 2010-11 सुजुकी, होंडा और रॉयल एनफील्ड भी कस्टमर के रूप में हम लोगों के पास आ गए. By 2013, we were at 250 crores of revenue, and then we wanted sustenance and growth. And for sustenance, it was important to have a price control. और इस कारण से हम लोगों ने जो है बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन किया, केबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की, कनेक्शन सिस्टम में गए और एक कंट्रोल ऑन प्राइसिंग लेके आए. And wiring harness is a product, अगर मैं बोलूँ तो it's you can compare it to the human nervous system, जो कि आपको जैसे एक ह्यूमन नर्वस सिस्टम अलग अलग ऑर्गन्स को कनेक्ट करता है, तो व्हीकल के सारे इलेक्ट्रिकल एग्रीगेट जो होते हैं उसको वायरिंग हार्नेस कनेक्ट करता है. एंड इसमें एक अच्छी बात यह है दैट दिस डेवलपमेंट कम्स अबाउट 1.5 years बिफोर टू व्हेन द एक्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म इज लॉन्च्ड. And if at all there's any new feature which is coming in, वो उस drawing में दिख जाता है. So we thought that we should make advantage of this, and that's why we incubated a boutique setup of electronics and switches and started development based on homegrown engineering for various sensors, controllers and switches. हम लोगों को मालूम था कि इसमें टाइम लगेगा, ये gestation period लंबा होगा 6-7 साल का, but we were all ready and set for that. And by 2019, 26-7 years के करीब उसको लगा, लेकिन हम लोगों ने वो किया पूरा. And before the emission norms changed, BS6 came, we were all ready with it. Coming back to the wiring harness growth story, by 2014 we had reached about 400 crores of revenue. Then हम लोगों ने segment jump किया. We wanted to be a part of the commercial wheeler manufacturer. Your capability is not there to supply to us, and we need more complex harnesses. Since this was a common reaction, we did not debate. We took help of Singhi advisors. We went abroad and acquired 2 companies which were having a good share in UK's off-highway market segment. One was TFC, which was based in UK and Slovakia, and second was Parkinson Harness Technologies, which was based in Boston in UK. So we acquired both these companies in 2016 and 17, and with that now we had 3 times the requirement, 3 times more the complexity and capability requirement what the Indian manufacturers needed. Came back, got through their vendor code, started supplying to the commercial vehicles and off-highway, even for Volvo. In fact, for Volvo, we are the only person जो यहाँ से अभी आज इलेक्ट्रिकल साइड में कोरिया को हम लोग सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, and that business has been growing for us. जो कंपनी हम लोगों ने यूके में खरीदी, उस वहां पे हम लोगों ने मैनेजमेंट चेंज करने की कोशिश नहीं की, क्योंकि मैनेजमेंट चेंज को करने का मतलब होता था दैट एम्प्लॉय डिस्कनेक्ट होगा और कस्टमर डिस्कनेक्ट होगा. So we focused more on advising them, and we focused doubling the efforts for marketing with a clear arrangement with the MD that whatever extra business comes in, उसको हम इंडियन EOU में spill over कर देंगे ताकि लेबर आर्बिट्राज का फायदा हो. और वो हमने वैसा ही किया. तो उसका फायदा ये हुआ कि उस समय हमारे पास 200 लोग थे वहां पे, आज भी 200 लोग हैं, लेकिन ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट 350 लोग आज और इंडियन EOU में काम करते हैं उनके लिए, which gives a very good margin for us. सो एंड देन हम लोगों का रिलेशनशिप जो है जापानीज क्लाइंट से बढ़ रहा था, तो हमामात्सु में हम लोगों ने इंजीनियरिंग ऑफिस खोला। वहाँ पे एक क्वालिटी चीफ लिया जो सुजुकी का एक्सपीरियंस था, एक R&D चीफ लिया जो कि यामाहा का एक्सपीरियंस था। एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस लॉट ऑफ रिलेशनशिप्स केम इन जापान with lot of Japanese in India and lot of skill upgradation in terms of manufacturing quality and engineering skills back home in all our plants. ऑल्सो वी वांटेड टू बी कनेक्टेड टू द टू व्हीलर स्पेस, तो हम लोगों ने थाईलैंड को नहीं किया, थाईलैंड में भी एक ग्रीनफील्ड प्लांट शुरू किया। ये सब करते हुए 2019 तक करीबन 900 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू हम लोगों का हो गया। 2019 से 2025-26 के बीच में हम लोगों ने वी ग्रू अबाउट 5 times फ्रॉम 900 to 4500, एंड दैट वाज एन एंटायर ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ फॉर अस। एंड इसमें हम लोगों ने ईवी में काम किया, बाकी सब। बट मेन फोकस जो था, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सेंसर्स कंट्रोलर्स सब कर लिए थे, तो हमारा कंटेंट पर व्हीकल बढ़ गया था। जो कि जब एमिशन नॉर्म्स चेंज हुए इंडिया में 2020 में, तो हम लोगों का 4x हो गया था कंटेंट। तो इससे हमको सीख मिली, हमने कहा कि अब जब हम लोगों को ईवी पावर ट्रेन में करना है, तो हम लोग इसमें इतना फर्क पड़ता है, तो क्यों ना इसको ओवरऑल देखा जाए। तो हम लोगों ने ईवी पे काफी फोकस किया। ईवी में जो एक इंफ्रा होता है, जो 230 वोल्ट से चार्जिंग कॉर्ड्स आती है, हमने उसको बनाया। उसके बाद में फिर जो ऑफबोर्ड चार्जर में जाता है मटेरियल, उसको बनाया। HV LV हार्नेसेस बनाई। बैटरी असेंबली का मौका मिला बजाज के साथ में, वो किया। और फिर मोटर मोटर की हार्नेसेस की। ये सबको देखते हुए कंटेंट पर व्हीकल और दुगना तिगना होने लग गया, जिससे हम लोगों को काफी कॉन्फिडेंस आया। So this is the overall journey which I have had, and yes, that's it.
ग्रेट, वंडरफुल। ऑलराइट राहुल जी, आपने जैसे बताया अभी औरंगाबाद से आपको काफ़ी इंस्पिरेशन मिली चारों तरफ देखने से। काफ़ी कंपनीज को सपोर्ट भी किया है बजाज ऑटो ने वहाँ पे। आई थिंक लॉट ऑफ अदर कंपनीज
बहुत लोगों
इन द
को किया
लिस्टेड
है।
स्पेस एज वेल। या,
Yes.
सो वायरिंग हार्नेस आपकी कंपनी का काफ़ी बड़ा हिस्सा जो है इसी प्रोडक्ट से आता है।
हाँ जी।
वुड लाइक टू अंडरस्टैंड how complex is it to make a wiring harness? I know it's quite lengthy, bulky, and but इसके technical aspects की तरफ अगर आप थोड़ा बताएं इसके बारे में।
Yeah, I will, but I'll let my group CEO, Mr. Naveen Kumar Singh, answer this question. Naveen ji.
Sure.
So
नवीन जी
basically,
नमस्कार।
Namaste. So I'm Naveen, so I'm the group CEO for Dhoot Transmission. Nice to meet
जी,
you. Haji.
same
So
here.
basically, it is a very complex thing. That's why you will see that not many people in India they are making wiring harness. Because it is a very entry barrier product in terms of the investment, the plant, and also the engineering what goes behind the thing. And of course, the major thing what is coming. As an advantage to do this, basically the backward integration where we have our own connected terminals and cables. So that has given us a lot of advantage in terms of getting more and more business share. And also the here which changes very frequently in the vehicle. Anything changes in the vehicle, even a small change, the first thing which needs to be changed is the wiring harness. So here we need a very proactive development activities along with the customer, because the customer, it's a very real pain for the customer that any EC&I to fit, it goes for a big loop of development and all. Here is where we have a very strategic position in terms of having our local R&D for plant wise, so that the the response is very quick for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so but then there are other companies listed in wiring harness space. Motherson Sumi is there, and globally, I think Lear is a listed player, Lear Corp. Uh,
Lear is not
which-
into the two-wheeler, but yeah, of course, Motherson is there. But many of the businesses what we are doing today, we have taken from Motherson Sumi. So that's what has happened.
okay.
If you see many of the customers where they were 90%, we were not there. So now we are more than 70-80% and they are lower than us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So would you rate this business as as an R&D driven business or an execution driven business?
It's both 50-50%. It's not only R&D plus execution, both are equally important.
So I asked this question because I was going through your RHP and I culled out some figures. So R&D expenses as a percentage of revenue is very less. in your case. And
Yeah.
from my experience of tracking automotive ancillary companies, global ones, उधर काफी रेगुलरली मतलब 6-7% का टोटल रेवेन्यू का 6-7% R&D एक्सपेंसेस में जाता है. बट कंसिडरिंग योर बिजनेस, योर प्रोडक्ट्स, ये 6-7% ना हो तो भी ये 3-4% के आसपास होना चाहिए.
Yeah. So you are right, and your observation is very correct. So what happens in the wiring harness? If you say the R&D is limited to VAV and product development, it's not a core R&D. The core R&D is done by the customer, and he gives the drawing to us, and then we do the manufacturing engineering and also the VAV moving forward. Okay, so the R&D requirement is not much over there. So whatever R&D today we are having in Dhoot, they are on the electronic side. So if you see the electronic sale and the R&D spend on the and the spend on the R&D, we are also coming to around 3.5 to 4%. If you take only the sales of the electronic part.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and
Got it.
as we are going forward, and we are having more focus on the electronic part, you will see this moving up going forward. Because one of our strategies is also to set up a state of the art. We already have close to 140 engineers over here in R&D
Mhm.
for the electronics, and moving forward, we are also planning to get into more software-driven vehicle and more complicated products having cyber security and all these things. So this expense is going to go up moving forward,
Got
depending
it.
upon the
Fair
sales
enough.
what we are getting.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So you talked about backward integration as well. I would like to understand what kind of backward integration is the company undertaking?
So one of the major part of the wiring harness is the cable. So we are doing some specialty cable we are doing in-house. Then the second thing, which is very technological and very cost sensitive part, is the connector in the terminal. So that we are trying to now localize, because currently the connector business is dominantly held by the global players. So we are just trying to of the connectors in terminals, and thereby giving a very good price advantage even to the customer.
Okay. All right. Okay. Also, one more
The
thing.
component for the molding for the connectors like that.
Sure. Got it. Sorry, the line got disconnected in between, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started talking.
But that's why
So
I repeated that thing. Yeah.
ओके. सो सर जितना मुझे समझ में आता है और जितना ट्रैक किया है ऑटोमोटिव एंसिलरी सेक्टर को, दिस फील्ड इज राइप फॉर कंसोलिडेशन. इट लुक्स लाइक एन एंडलेस सप्लाई ऑफ न्यू प्लेयर्स कमिंग इन. Some of them survive, some of them thrive, and then some unfortunately go bust also. Uh, MTech Auto is one such example, and there are several others. Globally also, there used to be this conglomerate by the name of Tower Automotive.
You got
So
freezed in between. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So, but then in Indian context, there are a lot many opportunities. So I would like to understand, and you have also undertaken some M&As in the past. So what is your philosophy about M&As going forward?
So in M&A, we have a very clear-cut strategy. One thing is that it has to be the related product. So we don't want to get into, rubber or, casting, those type of things. We want to remain in the electrical electronic domain, somewhere related to our wiring harness. Okay, wiring harness being the core of the business. And what happens is that, we want to take the advantage of the technology. It's not be totally new technology. So we need to have an advantage of, of the technology in terms of how we are able to develop the product. So that is one on the merger and acquisition. Apart from that, we have got a very three specific requirement which drives our M&A strategy. One being if the M&A is able to add some customer, a new product, or it's giving us access to some new technology. And of course, remaining in the electrical electronic domain.
Okay. All right. So if we frame this thing out for the next 1 to 5 years, 1 to 5 years, what are the new areas that the company is looking at getting an entry into?
So we are evaluating a lot of technologies, which is going to be the the future technology which is coming in the market. Of course, one of the area where we have left till now is the passenger vehicle. So
Mhm.
we are also evaluating how we can enter the passenger vehicle. So we are making strategy around that. And of course, and the second thing will be that the more and more electronic content is going to be added. So we are also planning to evaluate getting into more platform approach for power electronics. Those are the areas we are trying to evaluate. We are also evaluating some very niche controllers, which we see there is a possibility of a new incumbent to be there. And also we want to further improve our switches portfolio, because as Mr. Rahul Dhoot has told that we are doing switches for the commercial vehicle and off-highway vehicle. We want to further, grow this business in other segment of the market and going into a higher end product.
Okay. And when you talk about passenger vehicle
Just to give you,
segment,
sorry to interrupt you. We have also done a joint venture recently with a Israeli company, which is into ADAS. So this is going to take us to the next horizon in terms of the software as well as the AI of the product. And this ADAS is primarily being developed for the two-wheeler application. And we are seeing a lot of traction from the customer, because of the fatality rate in India. And the second is that some potential regulation which may come in the future.
so this is a little bit confusing actually. What kind of applications, ADAS applications, are going to be helpful in two-wheelers? I can totally
Yeah, so
understand how it
basically,
helps in four-wheelers,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
two-wheelers.
I will tell you, sir. So what happens? There are four areas from which risk is coming on a rider. Okay, one is coming from the rear collision, one from the front collision, and the third is coming from the blind spot. If somebody comes from the side, you are not able to see. So what this camera-based ADAS system is going to give a warning to the rider. Hey, something is coming very abruptly from the back, so please be careful. It is not a closed loop, but it will give a warning to the rider that okay, now you have to be careful. Somebody from the side is coming in a very fast mode. They're coming in front of you. So it just gives the awareness of the rider that something wrong is happening. So you please be careful. So if you are going to change a lane, and then the camera says that something is coming from the back on your left hand side, then it will give a warning that now you don't change the lane. So those type of thing has been done, and the beauty of this product is that this has been developed with the ecosystem of the Indian road condition. Not that it is done in Europe or US, which will not suit to the Indian market. So this complete
Mhm.
product development has been done for the Indian riding, know how they ride in India in terms of the traffic and all.
Okay, all right. And
Yeah.
so you talked about content per vehicle. If you could also help us understand what has been the trajectory in terms of
So, so
absolute
if you
in
see,
percentage
yeah,
terms, if you can.
yeah, if you see, I'll just tell you in terms of X. So if you start from the BS4 cycle, content per vehicle was around X. Then in the BS6, which came in 2020, it went to around 3X. And the same thing when it has gone to the EV, it has gone to around 9 to 10x. So the content per vehicle is growing very exponentially. One, because of the content of the wiring harness also goes up because more and more sensors are coming. At the same time, we have been also able to develop many other products like electronic ECUs and USB chargers, and for the EV, we have developed a lot of high voltage. Power electronics like charger and DC-DC converter, charging gun, connectors and all. So that has
Hmm.
increased our.
Uh, Fine. So, but then there must be a limit to what a wiring harness can you can realize from a wiring harness in a given vehicle. So even though the electronics component is increasing, there is a limit, and so the question I think comes back to the to new product development, and you have already identified this. But I would like to understand, apart from this, are there any other growth factors? What are the triggers for the next 5 years? That's what I want to understand.
See, the electronic content is increasing in the vehicle, every year. So we will be keep
Mhm.
on adding and trying to evaluate what areas we can see. There are certain areas there where we have to also see that we cannot enter, and we also should see which are the area where we have a right to win in the market. So that is what will be. It will be a continuous process, and we are doing a lot of other evaluation in terms of getting into some other diversified product and also because today it is in a very initial stage, so we are not able to share with you. But yeah, of course, we are aware of this type of a challenges, and we are constantly evaluating what new technology, what new product, what new segment we should be entering.
And also, debt has been a problem, major problem for auto ancillary companies, uh, because pricing power, largely speaking, lies with
Nitin
the
details without that.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, so on the debt
So
side, Yeah, on debt side, what is happening is with this proceeds of IPO, we'll knock off the debt completely. So it will
You
become
will
a debt-free
become
company.
debt-free. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I
also
was
we'll have a
I was checking that. So my
yes.
question here is, you have funded your acquisitions in the past through debt, and
No,
the debt has been coming down. But I would like to
these two
understand it
small
going.
acquisitions.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So,
All of these two acquisitions which we made in past, so in 2017 and 2018, was through internal accruals. The
acha.
acquisitions were
Okay.
very small also. The
Mm-hmm.
recent acquisition of Multilink is also equity funded, not debt funded. And we'll have after this Multilink acquisition about 1,000 crore as a 900 to 1,000 crore as a war chest, being a debt-free company at the same time. So we'll be a
So,
debt-free company and have a 900 crore of war chest. So we can take on smaller ones basically without disturbing our debt discipline, basically.
mhm.
And
So
our primary focus would be to keep this debt discipline intact.
right. And I was just coming to the debt equity part. For the last 3 years that I have data of, your debt equity ratio was at the highest level of 0.8. Do you foresee the company hitting that kind of level again in the next, let's say,
We
three,
don't see.
five, 5 years?
We
You don't
don't
see
see
that.
that. We don't see that happening.
Okay. Okay. All right. So which applications where you are going to spend this 900 crore war chest?
Multiple opportunities will be there. It's very difficult to comment at this stage. At any point in time, the company of our meaning with the private equity being there, obviously there will be some evaluations going on at all point in time. But there is
Mhm.
nothing uh, which is like about to get materialized, which needs a disclosure here. Maybe that's the reason I'm not sort of stating anything here.
Got it. Fair enough. So my question is, your private equity investor, Bain Capital, is making an exit from the company right now. What kind of overhangs do you see,
वीडियो बंद करो
on the stock price post-listing? Is it a
See, the thing is basically, no, if I get your question correctly, it was not very clear. But what I was saying is basically the private equities usually have a fund life cycle, and
yes,
the
exactly.
initial offloading is happening at the initial stage.
Mhm.
I am really not authorized to speak on their behalf, but I'm just saying that usually that is the way forward, and we are fairly confident that company is good. So obviously it shouldn't really sort of look at it. But again, it's in equity investments are again subject to risks and rewards basically. So obviously one has to sort of take a call that
Right.
way.
Okay, fair enough. That is also fine. Now, while interacting with you and looking at the company's financials, it doesn't look like you need a lot of capital to grow from here. It has been a
Is
wonderful
breaking.
journey so far. But then, so my question is on a very fundamental level is why IPO? Because you could buy out, practically speaking, buy out your private equity investors through internal accruals as well.
No, it'll be very large. No, buying 55% of the company with the internal accruals, I think it is almost, I mean, it's difficult. Basically, it'll be difficult given the kind of valuation you're seeing on the IPO itself.
Mhm.
It'll be challenging. No,
So this IPO is largely speaking, an exit window for the
internal
private
accruals,
equity
I am saying.
investor. Is it correct assessment to say that the current IPO is an exit exercise for the PE investor?
See, OF is supposed to sort of allow somebody to exit, right? That's the correct assessment, I believe.
Okay. Uh, okay. So one question at a very broad level. Let's take 1 year and 5 year time frames. How different the company is going to be from the current version? What kind of changes we can
Yeah, it's
expect?
very difficult to answer any future related questions basically. What we can say is we have right levers of growth, premiumization, the opportunities lie ahead of us. the increase in share of business on certain products like the battery systems on an overall industry basis, and also power electronics. All of these things bode very well for the company, and I think one can probably draw conclusions based on this indication.
Fair enough. All
It
right,
at least
I'm
guides.
through with my questions. I wish you all the best for this success. Thanks, Rahul ji, Kanani ji, sir. आप तीनों का बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद. I wish you all the best for
Thank
the
you.
success of the IPO. And thanks a lot for taking
Thank you
out
so
time
much.
and
Thank you.
talking to IPO Central.
Thank you.